Hey guys, it's your boy Mark, and today we're going to be talking about the MXR Bass D.I Plus. First off, I would like to apologize for the lack of content on this channel the past few weeks. About 3 weeks ago, I was positively diagnosed with COVID-19, and that took me out for about 12 straight days. This video was supposed to come out way before now. But that COVID stuff is no joke. Take it from a guy that's had it and is, recovering from it. You got to take care of yourself. I'm definitely going to be vaccinating very soon. Just make sure you guys are healthy. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning into the channel. But now let's get back to this. Like I mentioned in my prior video, the next couple videos are going to be centered around the bass guitar. And this is the preamp that I use in all of my recordings. So let's get this thing started and take a look at the front panel. All right, so here it is. This is the Bass D.I Plus. And to get a really good knowledge of it, let's go ahead and take you through the features on the front panel. This is in pedal form, and it's, constructed of really high-grade steel box. It's a metal box. Very sturdy, very rugged. It's got a lot of great features. Like a normal stomp box, this is the effect on and off. You can actually use this in a pedal board as well as in live application. I use it in recording application. This thing is super versatile, and I'm really impressed with the sound of it. It's very clean sounding preamp. And if you've listened to any of the music that I've come up with from Inspired, the bass tone comes from this. And there's also a distortion channel on it. I really haven't used it too much because I love the sound of clean bass in my music. But I have tinkered with it a little bit, and it's very versatile. You can go from a slight crunch on your bass to full-on Lemmy Motorhead style, dirt. I mean, it's really heavy, or it can be very musical. Either way you look at it, it's a killer feature. Let's get to this part later. You got your 3-band EQ. Depending on how I have the bass set up, is how I usually kind of control the tone. Normally, if I play like in the P bass position, I'll keep the bass around 12 o'clock because there's a lot of low end on the precision pickup. And to get the kind of jangly sound, I really don't, that metal rattle that I was telling you about in the last video, the Peter Baltes sound, the David Ellefson sound, you got to have like a boosted upper mid, in my opinion, to get that sound successfully. So usually I'll have these about 1 o'clock. And if I use a blend, or if the song has a lot of low end itself, I will adjust this to whatever the song needs. But I want to take you through these because these are very responsive EQ controls. It has a clean volume, which is awesome because you can also use that as a boost. And of course, here's your distortion channel. You have a volume, you have a blend. And this is what I was telling you about a second ago, where you can go from full-on heavy metal madness, distorted lead bass. If you turn it clockwise, you'll get more of that clean blend. This is the trigger for the distortion and the level of gain. And of course, what's also cool is it has a built-in noise gate. And for the clean channel, I want to tilt this up a little bit. There is a color switch that gives you a little bit of a scoop on your bass, and it actually makes it sound brighter, and it kind of enhances the low end. All right, so let's take a look at the side here. Of course, you have your regular input, and you can't see that. You have your regular guitar input where the bass goes in, which that's actually right here. And then you have your 9-volt DC for like pedal power and stuff like that, the wall wart that you can plug into the wall. And this is actually pretty cool. This is a parallel output that you can run into a tuner and just does clean signal. I've also heard of folks using it with a headphone amp to practice quietly with just the bass and the DI Plus over here. But I also hear that the signal can be kind of weak and you just can't use the distortion channel because it's just a clean output. And on this side, you have like the output that would lead, it's a 1/4 inch output that would lead into, you know, another pedal on your board, or, you know, 1/4 inch into a bass amp, or even into a PA. And then it has the direct out, which is an XLR, and that can be fed straight into a soundboard, into the passive input of a bass amp. I mean, I use it straight from the direct output over here into my PreSonus unit right there, the AudioBox i2. And again, we're going to demonstrate how this thing works today, but I can tell you that it is one of the cleanest, most convincing sounding bass preamps I've ever heard. And it's also very affordable, which is the main reason why I got it. And plus, my old bass player used to use one of these. I was actually wanting the Ampeg Scrambler bass preamp plus Scrambler distortion unit, but it was way too expensive. But anyhow, enough of me talking. Let's get into it. Like in the last video, we're going to use the audio from Studio One to let you hear everything, so that way none of the microphones catch any kind of ambient noise from the speakers or anything like that. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so I've got my bass guitar, my Squier bass tuned to standard tuning, standard E for this video. What I've got pulled up here is just the basic standard, what I call a stock metal mark tone. I've got just my precision pickup on. I've got my session open in Studio One, where all the audio for this video is going to come from the bass guitar. So let's get this thing started. The color switch is engaged because it just makes everything sound brighter, and you get a little more low end, in my opinion, all at the same time. It kind of gives you a little more aggression. All right, so let's hear a quick run through on the current setting, which I consider the stock mark tone. Don't know, that was Battle Stations from Inspired. So let's turn the color off just to give you guys what it feels like raw. That's what she said. And here it is. We're going to play the same riff. So you guys can definitely take note of the difference there. I don't think it quite sounds as sharp, as defined. I think it loses some of that definition, some of that aggression that I like. So I'm going to keep the color switch engaged for the rest of the video, because that's just my personal preference. You guys may think just the raw tone without any color is great, and if that's what you prefer, then go for it. So now we're going to go through the EQ section. Just to show you guys what this thing is capable of, and we're going to be chugging on, I'm just going to be pedaling the open E for this, and I'm just going to scroll it back and forward on the pedal just to hear, just to show you guys what this thing can do if I can speak English. That's all the way off. You guys noticed that it was distorting really hard when I maxed out the bass. I mean, I'm not using a compressor. I'm just showing you the raw power of this, you know, this unit. So here we are. We're going to turn the mid and the treble back to 12 o'clock. I'll restore the settings later. This is just for the video. And now I'm going to be pedaling the A string just to show you something. Doing it the same way. Again, super, super responsive. And now we're going to take it to the treble. We'll use the D string for this. You hear that radical difference? So again, it's not a cheap sounding unit at all. It's a very high quality, very high integrity sort of sound. So now we're going to switch this bad boy up, and I'm going to get it on the distortion channel. I'm going to turn the volume on this bass off just in case there's feedback. Alright, so I got the distortion engaged. We're going to have the volume and the blend and everything pretty much on 12 o'clock. The gate is engaged, and let's see what we have. Again, the Squier bass is still in the precision mode. Let's play with the volume. Let's get it about where the clean volume is. Let's give it some dirt. Alright, so kind of got that very distorted Motorhead type sound. For the heck of it, let's just max out the volume. Let's see what happens. So it's a very throaty, very, very round type distortion. Let's get it back to this. Now we're going to go through the blend and show you the various sounds that you can get. This is middle of the road, and this is what middle of the road sounds like on the blend. So let's roll. Let's keep that distortion back up where it's at. I changed my mind. So I'm just going to be chugging the low E, and we're going to go through. Excuse me. We're going to go through the blend setting. Completely clean. Get that back to 12 o'clock. I like a little of the clean sound to kind of come through. Now let's go through the trigger setting on this. I keep pushing the pedal out of your sight. Alright. So again, open E. Let's just take the gain back to 12 o'clock. And we're going to do some more open E chugging. Now we're going to dime the crap out of it. All. Because it ain't metal if it's not all the way. That's really fun, and that's really, really crunchy too. Alright guys, well that's it for the MXR Bass D.I Plus. Was it a good review? Did you guys dig it? Did y'all learn anything? Were there any settings in particular that y'all are, that struck your fancy that you liked? I think this is a really fun unit to use. It's a very good sounding DI. You guys heard it through its paces. This is not a toy. It's not a cheap instrument. It's very much, you get a lot of bang for your buck, and I think MXR has definitely outdone themselves with the creation of the Bass D.I Plus. I mean, it's been out for a while. It's not a secret, but for me, it's a very good secret weapon, especially for kind of a middle-of-the-road bass player like myself that's, I'm not great, but I'm not, a beginner either. It's a very intuitive, very responsive, and again, it's just really fun. Again, if you like this video, give me a big old thumbs up or a comment or anything I can do better. I'd like to hear that too. Again, the next video will also be dedicated to bass guitar. Again, sorry for the long silence. I was dying, but I'm not anymore because I won't let COVID kick my butt. Guys, be safe, be healthy, love y'all, and I'll see you again real soon with some more bass videos. Have a great week.